Across the vast sun-drenched plains of Africa, a remarkable drama unfolds every single day. The air shimmers with heat, and the golden light of dawn spills across endless grasslands, painting the world in hues of amber and ochre. In this boundless wilderness, life pulses with a quiet intensity, every creature attuned to the rhythms of the land. The landscape, a tapestry of golden grasses and scattered acacia trees, is a stage for some of the most spectacular displays of life and death on our planet. The wind whispers through the tall grass, carrying the scent of distant rain and the promise of both danger and opportunity. Here, survival is an art form, a delicate balance of power, endurance, and opportunity. Herds of antelope and zebra graze warily, their ears flicking at the slightest sound, their eyes scanning the horizon for the faintest flicker of movement. And in this grand theatre, one creature has perfected the art of speed above all else. The cheetah, the savanna's golden arrow, stands poised, muscles taut, senses sharpened, every fibre of its being tuned to the hunt. It is the cheetah, a magnificent feline built not for brute force, but for breathtaking velocity. With each step it glides through the grass, its movements fluid and silent, a living shadow among the sunlit blades. Its slender aerodynamic body is a marvel of evolutionary design, a living testament to the power of specialization. Every muscle ripples beneath its spotted coat, its spine arching and flexing with a grace that hints at the explosive power coiled within. It is the savanna's golden arrow, a streak of spotted lightning that can outpace any other land animal in a burst of pure, unadulterated acceleration. When the moment comes, the cheetah erupts into motion, a blur against the golden grass, closing the gap between itself and its quarry with astonishing speed. The cheetah's very existence is defined by the chase. It stalks with patience, using the undulating grass and scattered shrubs as cover, inching closer to its chosen target. A young gazelle, perhaps, or a distracted impala. It is a creature of open spaces where its incredible speed can be fully unleashed. The wide, unobstructed plains are its domain, offering the perfect arena for its high-stakes pursuit. Unlike its powerful cousins, the lion and the leopard, the cheetah cannot rely on overwhelming strength or the concealing darkness of the jungle. Instead, it must outwit and outrun, relying on daylight and open ground to give it the edge. It must hunt in the broad daylight, often in full view of its prey and its competitors. The sun beats down, casting sharp shadows as the cheetah calculates every move, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. This makes its life a continuous high-stakes gamble. Each hunt is a test of timing and precision, where a single misstep can mean the difference between a meal and empty hunger. Every hunt is a massive expenditure of energy, a calculated risk where the reward of a meal is weighed against the peril of exhaustion and injury. After a sprint, the cheetah collapses in the grass, sides heaving, vulnerable to the ever-watchful eyes of scavengers. Its unique physiology, from its flexible spine to its non-retractable claws that grip the earth like running spikes, has been honed over millennia for one singular purpose: to close the distance between itself and its quarry with astonishing quickness. Each stride is a symphony of motion, paws drumming the earth, spine flexing like a bow. This reliance on speed shapes every aspect of the cheetah's life. It determines where it rests, how it raises its young, and the very structure of its days and nights. It influences where it lives, what it eats, and how it interacts with the other powerful inhabitants of its world. The cheetah must always be alert, for even after a successful hunt, the threat of losing its hard-won meal to hyenas or vultures is ever present. We see in its intense, amber eyes a focus that is both beautiful and, honestly, a bit terrifying. There is a burning intelligence there, a relentless drive that never wavers. This is the gaze of a predator that must constantly assess its environment, watching for the slightest sign of weakness in a herd of gazelles or the distant shadow of a rival carnivore. Every moment is a calculation, every glance a strategy. It is a life lived on the edge, a perpetual sprint for survival. The cheetah's world is one of constant motion, where hesitation can mean the end. The cheetah is a symbol not just of speed, but of a fragile and specialized existence. Alone on the savannah, it stands as a testament to the beauty and the cost of being nature's swiftest hunter. It is a masterpiece of nature's engineering, an animal that embodies both the triumph and the vulnerability of being the fastest hunter on the plains. The wind stirs its fur as the sun dips low, casting the cheetah in a golden glow. The story of the cheetah is therefore a story of contrasts. It is a creature of explosive power and delicate fragility, of solitary hunts and fleeting alliances. It is a tale of incredible power, yet also of profound vulnerability. Even the swiftest can stumble, and the golden arrow is not immune to the hardships of the wild. It is an account of solitary grace, and at times surprising cooperation. Sometimes siblings or mothers and cubs join forces, their teamwork a rare but vital strategy in the endless quest for survival. To truly understand this magnificent cat, one must look beyond the sheer spectacle of its sprint. The cheetah's story is written in every cautious step, every calculated pause, every breathless chase. We must delve into the intricate strategies it employs, the formidable challenges it faces, and the unyielding spirit that drives it forward. Each hunt is a lesson in patience, each encounter a test of will. In the heart of Africa, under the immense watchful sky, the cheetah continues its epic race, not for a trophy or for glory, but for the most fundamental prize of all, the chance to live another day. The sky stretches endlessly above, a silent witness to the cheetah's relentless pursuit. Its journey is a stirring reminder of the relentless and beautiful struggle for life in the wild. The cheetah, the golden arrow of the savannah, runs on, swift, graceful, and forever a symbol of nature's most breathtaking race. A cheetah's hunt is a breathtaking display of nature's engineering, a symphony of speed and stealth, orchestrated with precision and grace. The performance begins long before the chase, with a meticulous strategy that unfolds in the golden light of the savannah. The cheetah's journey starts with patience, its amber eyes scanning the landscape, every muscle poised, every sense heightened. Often the cheetah ascends a termite mound or a low branch, gaining a panoramic view of the undulating grasslands, where the wind ripples through the sea of gold and green. Its vision, attuned to the subtlest movements, sweeps across herds of antelope and wildebeest, searching for the faintest sign of vulnerability. The cheetah's focus narrows, not to the herd as a whole, but to a single chosen target, perhaps a young gazelle, or one that lags behind. With instinctive calculation, it identifies the weak, the distracted or the isolated, those whose steps falter, whose attention wavers. This decision is not made lightly. The cheetah weighs the risks and rewards, knowing that every hunt demands a tremendous expenditure of energy. In the hush of the grass, the cheetah becomes a shadow, motionless, silent, its breathing slow and measured as it observes, waiting for the perfect moment. Once the target is chosen, the hunt enters its next phase, the stalk. The cheetah's body lowers, its spine flexing, shoulder blades gliding beneath taut skin. It slips from its vantage point, melting into the tall grass, each step a study in controlled movement, its silhouette dissolving into the dappled shadows. The cheetah's spotted coat is a marvel of camouflage, breaking up its outline and allowing it to move with near invisibility through the sun-bleached savannah. Muscles ripple beneath its skin as it creeps forward, belly brushing the earth, every sinew tuned for silence and stealth. Each step is measured, each pause perfectly timed. When the prey glances up, the cheetah freezes, a living statue blending seamlessly with the grass. The landscape becomes its ally. Bushes, ravines and undulations in the earth provide cover. allowing the cheetah to edge ever closer, eyes never leaving its quarry. This tense approach can last for minutes, even longer, as the cheetah closes the gap, striving to reach within 30 meters, the critical distance for a successful sprint. Then, in a flash, the hunt erupts into its final act, the chase. The cheetah's body transforms, muscles coiling and releasing in a burst of kinetic energy. In a single bound, it explodes from cover, accelerating with astonishing force, its spine flexing like a spring, propelling it forward in great ground-eating strides. The cheetah's acceleration is unmatched. Its long, slender limbs and lightweight frame allow it to reach over 60 miles per hour in mere seconds. Its flexible spine acts as a powerful spring, while semi-retractable claws grip the earth. The long muscular tail whips behind, acting as a counterbalance, enabling razor-sharp turns as the prey darts and weaves. The world blurs into streaks of colour and motion, a high-speed ballet where every fraction of a second counts, and a single miscalculation can spell defeat. Yet this incredible speed comes at a cost. The cheetah's sprint is a brief, blazing burst lasting only 20 to 30 seconds before its body overheats. As lactic acid floods its muscles and heat builds, the cheetah must either succeed quickly or abandon the chase, collapsing in the grass, sides heaving, tongue lolling as it gasps for air. If the hunt is successful, the final moments are a display of precision. The cheetah closes in, timing its approach to perfection. With a swift swipe of its front paw, it trips the fleeing animal, sending it tumbling in a cloud of dust. This is a calculated maneuver, exploiting the prey's momentum and balance, ensuring it cannot recover before the cheetah closes in. In a heartbeat, the cheetah clamps its jaws around the throat, pinning the animal with its slender yet powerful frame. Its bite is not designed to crush, but to suffocate, holding tight, cutting off air as the struggle fades. The cheetah's resolve is unwavering, maintaining its grip until the prey's resistance ceases, every muscle trembling with exhaustion. When the hunt is done, the cheetah collapses beside its prize, chest heaving, utterly spent from the effort. It must eat quickly, ever alert, for the scent of its hard-won meal will soon drift across the plains, drawing the attention of larger, more formidable predators. In this relentless world, the cheetah's mastery of speed and stealth is both its greatest weapon and its only hope for survival. In the vast, sun-drenched African wilderness, survival is a daily contest, and the savannah is a stage for a complex drama of rivalry and adaptation. Here, three of the continent's most iconic predators, the cheetah, the lion and the African wild dog, vie for dominance, each shaped by the relentless pressures of their environment and the presence of their formidable neighbours. The cheetah's solitary silhouette often crosses paths with the imposing forms of lions and the ever-moving packs of wild dogs. Their interactions are rarely peaceful, competition for food and territory is fierce, and every encounter is a test of strategy and instinct. Take the lion, the undisputed king of the savannah. Lions are not just powerful, they are social architects, living in tightly knit prides that dominate the landscape. Their strength lies in numbers and in the bonds that unite them, allowing them to control prime hunting grounds and water sources. When lions hunt, it is a masterclass in patience and coordination. They do not rely on a single burst of speed, but on strategy, ambush and overwhelming force. The pride moves as one, each member playing a role. Some drive the prey, others lie in wait, hidden by the tall grass. Lionesses, the pride's primary hunters, fan out and encircle their chosen target, often a powerful buffalo or a wary zebra. Their tactics are honed by generations of experience, and their teamwork is unrivaled among Africa's predators. Using the cover of dusk or dense thickets, they close in, launching a coordinated attack from multiple directions. The result is chaos. Prey scatter in panic, and the lions exploit every moment of confusion. Their immense strength allows them to bring down animals many times their size, a feat the lightweight cheetah could never attempt. The aftermath of a lion kill is a spectacle of dominance, as the pride feasts and defends its prize from scavengers and rivals alike. Then there is the African wild dog, a hunter that personifies relentless endurance and unbreakable social bonds. Wild dogs are the savanna's marathoners, their lives defined by movement and cooperation. Unlike the cheetah's explosive sprint, the wild dog's hunt is a test of stamina. Their strategy is to pursue prey over vast distances, maintaining a steady, ground-eating pace that few animals can match. Communication is key. The pack coordinates with a chorus of yips and calls, each member attuned to the movements of the others. This unity allows them to adapt on the fly, shifting direction and tactics as the chase unfolds. When a target is chosen, often a nimble antelope, the pack singles it out and begins a relentless pursuit. The dogs run in formation, taking turns at the front to conserve energy, their eyes always on the prize. The chase can last for miles. As the prey tires, the dogs close in, their persistence wearing down even the strongest animals. It is a battle of attrition, and the wild dogs rarely lose. When the end comes, it is swift and efficient. The pack surrounds the exhausted animal, overwhelming it with numbers and precision. Their success rate is among the highest of any African predator. Their teamwork ensures that every member, from the youngest pup to the oldest hunter, shares in the reward. This social structure is their greatest strength, allowing them to thrive where others might fail. The cheetah, by comparison, is a solitary specialist navigating a world filled with threats and opportunities. Its existence is defined by isolation and the constant need for vigilance. While lions bring brute strength and wild dogs bring cooperative stamina, the cheetah brings unparalleled speed and surgical precision. Its hunting style is a breathtaking display of acceleration and agility. The cheetah is an individualist, relying on its own athleticism and sharp senses. Every hunt is a solitary duel, requiring perfect timing and flawless execution. The chase is a blur, over in less than a minute. The cheetah explodes from cover, closing the gap in seconds, its body a marvel of evolutionary engineering. But this speed comes at a cost. After the sprint, the cheetah is spent, vulnerable, and acutely aware of the dangers that surround it. It cannot afford a prolonged struggle or a drawn-out chase. Its anatomy is a study in compromise, lightweight, built for speed, but lacking the brute force of a lion or the endurance of a wild dog. Its smaller jaw and delicate frame mean it is ill-equipped for confrontation. The cheetah must eat quickly, always glancing over its shoulder. Lions and wild dogs are never far away, ready to steal its hard-won meal. Even scavengers like hyenas and vultures pose a constant threat. This makes the cheetah's life a precarious one, defined by fleeting triumphs and ever-present danger. Every meal is a race against time and rivals. The savanna's ecology is shaped by these interactions. Lions, wild dogs and cheetahs are locked in a perpetual contest, their strategies evolving in response to each other's strengths and weaknesses. Territories overlap, and the presence of one predator can alter the fortunes of another. The lion is the heavyweight brawler, ruling through force and intimidation. The wild dog is the tireless runner, succeeding through unity and persistence. The cheetah is the world-class sprinter, relying on speed and stealth. Each predator has carved out a unique niche, perfectly adapted to its hunting style and preferred prey. Their coexistence is a delicate balance, maintained by competition and the ever-shifting dynamics of the ecosystem. The lion dominates through sheer force, the wild dog through collective endurance, and the cheetah through its brief golden burst of speed. Each is both hunter and rival, shaping the fate of the others. This specialization is both the cheetah's greatest asset and its greatest vulnerability, defining its solitary and often perilous existence. On these endless plains, the rules of survival are written not by the strongest alone, but by those who can adapt, endure, and seize their moment in the eternal contest of the wild. In the wild, every hunt is a test of skill, patience, and nerve. The cheetah, renowned for its speed, faces a world where every potential meal comes with its own set of challenges and dangers. Among the most dramatic encounters are those with the formidable wildebeest and the surprisingly dangerous porcupine. The wildebeest, a towering and muscular antelope, is a common sight on the African plains. These animals move in vast herds, their numbers alone creating a living shield against predators. When wildebeest gather, their sheer mass and unity become their greatest defense. The herd moves as one, each individual protected by the collective vigilance and strength of the group. For a solitary cheetah, the adult wildebeest is an impossible target. The predator must wait, hidden in the tall grass, eyes fixed on the herd, searching for a moment of vulnerability. The cheetah's gaze settles on the calves, smaller, less experienced, but still astonishingly quick and agile. These young wildebeest are the most likely targets, yet they are far from defenseless. A wildebeest calf, though young, can match the adults in speed for short bursts. Its instinct is to stay close to the herd, weaving through the legs of its protectors, making it a difficult quarry. The cheetah must act with perfect timing, launching a lightning-fast sprint to isolate a calf from its mother and the safety of the group. The chase is a blur of motion, dust, and desperate energy, but the mother wildebeest is a fierce defender. With lowered horns and a powerful charge, she will confront any threat, risking her own safety to protect her young. The cheetah must dodge and weave, always wary of those deadly horns. Even when a calf is separated, the outcome is uncertain. The young wildebeest sprints for its life, zigzagging across the plain, while the cheetah pushes itself to the limit, every muscle straining for speed. The pursuit is grueling. The calf's frantic attempts to rejoin the herd can stretch the chase into a test of endurance, with both predator and prey nearing exhaustion. Sometimes two cheetah brothers form a coalition, working together to outmaneuver the herd's defences. Their partnership is a display of silent communication and shared purpose. In these coordinated hunts, one cheetah may burst from cover, driving the calf toward its waiting sibling. The second cheetah springs the trap, cutting off escape and increasing their odds of success. Together, they can corner the calf, their combined speed and agility overwhelming the young wildebeest before it can reach safety. Yet more often than not, the hunt ends in failure. A lone cheetah, after several desperate attempts to trip its quarry, collapses in the grass, panting, as the calf rejoins the herd and the opportunity slips away. On the opposite end of the spectrum lies a much smaller but no less formidable opponent, the porcupine. Despite its size, this animal is a master of defence. The porcupine's body bristles with needle-sharp quills, each one a potential weapon. When threatened, it transforms into a living fortress, its spines raised in warning. Unlike most prey, the porcupine does not flee. It stands its ground, relying on its armour to deter any would-be attacker. When danger approaches, the porcupine turns its back, presenting a wall of quills, and waits, ready to defend itself with a sudden swipe of its tail. For the cheetah, this is a perplexing challenge. Its usual tactics, speed and a precise bite, are useless against such defences. The predator hesitates, circling, searching for a weakness. To attack from the front is to risk sharp teeth. From behind, the cheetah faces a barrage of quills that can pierce flesh and cause lasting injury. The cheetah's frustration grows. It circles the porcupine, tail lashing, muscles tense, but every approach is met with a bristling defence. The predator's movements become more cautious, each step measured, as it tries to outwit the rodent's impenetrable armour. Occasionally the cheetah feints, darting in and out, hoping to provoke a mistake. But the porcupine simply pivots, always keeping its quills between itself and danger. Instinct urges the cheetah to attack, but self-preservation holds it back. The risk of injury is too great. Sometimes desperation or inexperience leads the cheetah to strike. In an instant it recoils, a quill embedded painfully in its paw or face, a harsh lesson learned. Such wounds can fester, making it difficult for the cheetah to hunt or even move, a potentially fatal consequence in the unforgiving wild. More often the cheetah abandons the attempt, watching as the porcupine, victorious and unscathed, waddles away into the undergrowth. In these encounters, speed and strength meet their match in unity, courage and ingenious defences. In the unforgiving hierarchy of the African savannah, the lion sits firmly at the top. As the apex predator, its size, strength and social structure make it a dominant force that all other animals must reckon with. For the cheetah, an encounter with a lion is almost always a life-threatening event, a moment where every instinct is tested to its limit. Lions view cheetahs not just as competitors for the same prey like wildebeest and zebra, but also as a threat to be eliminated. The savannah is a battleground, and every meeting is fraught with peril. A lion will not hesitate to kill a cheetah if given the chance, and it possesses the raw power to do so with ease. The cheetah, built for speed rather than strength, is always at a disadvantage in these encounters. Consequently, a cheetah's survival often depends on its ability to detect and avoid lions long before a confrontation becomes inevitable. Every sense is sharpened, every muscle tensed for flight. It must always be vigilant, scanning its surroundings not just for prey, but for the telltale silhouette of its most dangerous rival. The cheetah's golden eyes sweep the horizon, searching for any sign of movement. This dynamic of fear and avoidance is most palpable when a mother cheetah is raising her cubs. Her every action is dictated by the need to keep her young hidden and safe. The cubs are incredibly vulnerable, and lions are a primary cause of their mortality. A single careless moment can spell disaster. A mother must constantly be on the move, leading her young from one hiding place to another, never staying in one location for too long, lest a lion picks up their scent. She chooses the thickest grass, the most concealed hollows, always thinking several steps ahead. However, sometimes avoidance is not enough. The savannah offers few guarantees, and danger can appear in an instant. If a lion discovers her cubs, a mother cheetah will display a staggering act of bravery. She stands between her young and the king of beasts, her body taut with tension, her eyes blazing with defiance. Knowing she stands no chance in a direct fight, she will opt for a daring and selfless strategy. Her courage is not reckless, but calculated, a desperate gamble for her cub's survival. She will charge directly at the far larger predator, not to fight, but to create a momentary diversion. With a sudden burst of speed, she rushes the lion, hissing and swiping, her movements unpredictable and wild. The lion, momentarily startled by this audacious display, hesitates. Such a confrontation is a testament to the cheetah's courage and intelligence. She knows her only hope is to buy precious seconds for her cubs to scatter and disappear into the grass. The cheetah understands her limitations and plays to her strengths. She relies on her agility, her speed, and her ability to read the intentions of her adversary. In these moments, the cheetah uses her explosive acceleration to launch a surprise sally, hissing and swiping at the lion's face before rapidly retreating. She never lingers. Her life depends on her ability to vanish as quickly as she appeared. The goal is to be a distracting, agile nuisance, to draw the lion's attention away from the cubs and onto herself. Every second she holds the lion's gaze is a second her cubs can use to escape. It is an incredibly dangerous bluff, a gamble where the mother cheetah risks her own life for the survival of her offspring. The lion's jaws are only a heartbeat away, and one miscalculation could be fatal. We have seen these heart-stopping moments where a cheetah, fueled by maternal instinct, holds the attention of a confused lion just long enough for her young to vanish into the tall grass. The cubs, trained to freeze and then bolt at the right moment, scatter in all directions. Once her cubs are clear, the mother cheetah must rely on her own speed to escape. She darts away in a blur, zigzagging through the grass, her heart pounding as she outpaces the heavier, slower lion. Even encounters between adult cheetahs and lions can be complex. Sometimes a lone cheetah is cornered, forced to stand its ground with nothing but bravado and quick reflexes. While a cheetah will typically flee, there have been rare observations, particularly in arid environments where resources are scarce, of a cheetah initiating a confrontation. Driven by hunger or desperation, it may attempt to bluff a lion away from a kill or a waterhole. In these tense standoffs, the cheetah uses its quickness to dart in and out, testing the larger cat's patience. It circles, feints, and sometimes even snaps at the lion's tail, hoping to create enough confusion to snatch a meal or a drink. These interactions are incredibly tense and rarely end in the cheetah's favour. The risk is immense, and the cheetah must be ready to retreat at the slightest sign of aggression. They highlight the constant pressure that cheetahs face, forced to navigate a world dominated by more powerful predators. Every day is a test of nerve, wit, and agility. In this kingdom of strength, the cheetah survives with speed, intelligence, and, when absolutely necessary, a burst of astonishing courage. Each confrontation is a story of risk and resilience, a testament to the cheetah's indomitable spirit in the face of overwhelming odds. For a cheetah, the triumphant end of a hunt is never a moment of pure relief. Instead, it marks the beginning of a new, nerve-wracking ordeal, a desperate race against time and a gauntlet of lurking dangers. The chase leaves the cheetah utterly spent, its chest heaving, muscles trembling from the explosive burst of speed. In these precious minutes of recovery, the cheetah is at its most vulnerable, its senses on high alert, but its body slow to respond. In this fragile state, the hunter teeters on the edge of becoming prey itself. Every rustle in the grass, every shadow on the horizon could signal the approach of a rival. The scent of blood and fresh meat rides the wind, a silent beacon that draws the attention of every carnivore and scavenger for miles around. The savannah, so open and vast, suddenly feels claustrophobic. The cheetah's golden eyes flicker with anxiety. It knows the rules of this land. The strong take from the swift, and the swift must always look over their shoulder. With every bite, the cheetah's heart pounds, not just from exertion, but from the tension of knowing that danger could erupt at any moment. It gulps down its meal, torn between hunger and fear, its gaze darting across the plains. Each second spent feeding is a gamble. The longer it lingers, the greater the risk that the shadows will coalesce into something far more menacing. Suddenly, a shape emerges from the grass, a hyena, drawn by the promise of an easy meal. The cheetah stiffens, every muscle tensed for flight or fight. Hyenas, with their keen noses and bone-crushing jaws, are relentless. Their presence is a chilling reminder that the cheetah's victory is always precarious. A lone hyena may hesitate, but the cheetah knows that where there is one, more are sure to follow. The air thickens with anticipation as a clan gathers, their laughter echoing across the plains. The hyenas advance, their confidence growing with their numbers. The cheetah's body language shifts from defiance to resignation, the odds now insurmountable. Against the collective might of a hyena clan, the cheetah's slender frame seems almost fragile. It backs away, the kill slipping from its grasp. Sometimes desperation takes over. The cheetah tries to drag its prize to safety, but the hyenas are relentless, nipping at its heels, their eyes gleaming with hunger. In the end, the cheetah must surrender. The hyenas swarm the carcass, their cackles ringing out in triumph as the cheetah slinks away, hunger gnawing at its belly and pride. To resist would mean risking life and limb. The cheetah's survival depends on knowing when to fight and when to flee. But hyenas are not the only threat. The African wild dog, with its own brand of cunning and teamwork, is another formidable rival. Wild dogs move like a single organism, their coordination flawless. They hunt and scavenge as a unit, their strategy overwhelming even the swiftest of hunters. Imagine the tension as a cheetah, still panting from its chase, finds itself encircled by a pack of wild dogs. The air crackles with danger, the cheetah's every instinct screaming for escape. The attack is swift and coordinated. Wild dogs surge forward, their yips and growls filling the air, the cheetah caught in a whirlwind of snapping jaws and flashing teeth. Outnumbered and outmaneuvered, the cheetah has no chance to defend its meal. The wild dog's relentless assault leaves it with only one option: to run. With a final, desperate glance at its lost prize, the cheetah bolts, the wild dogs already tearing into the remains. The sense of loss is palpable, the tension lingering in the air. From a safe distance the cheetah watches, hunger and frustration etched into its features. The wild dog's victory is total, their teamwork a stark contrast to the cheetah's solitary struggle. These moments of loss and danger shape the cheetah's every move. The constant threat of kleptoparasitism, having its food stolen, forces the cheetah to live in a state of perpetual vigilance. It must hunt more often, each chase a gamble with exhaustion and exposure. The emotional toll is evident in the cheetah's wary movements, its heightened alertness a testament to the dangers it faces. This is why cheetahs often target smaller, more manageable prey. Gazelles and impalas that can be subdued and consumed quickly, minimizing the window for rivals to intervene. A small carcass can be devoured in minutes, a fleeting moment of safety before the cycle of tension and pursuit begins anew. In this relentless world, the cheetah's speed is both its greatest weapon and its greatest curse. It can outrun almost anything, but it cannot outfight the dangers that stalk the aftermath of every hunt. The cheetah's slender build, the very trait that makes it the fastest animal on land, leaves it exposed and alone in a world where strength and numbers often decide who eats and who goes hungry. In these moments the hunter truly becomes the hunted, and the drama of survival plays out in every heartbeat on the African plains. Despite its reputation as a supreme hunter, the cheetah's life is punctuated by frequent failure. Each hunt is a gamble, and more often than not, the odds are stacked against this elegant predator. In fact, more than half of its hunting attempts end unsuccessfully. The cheetah pours every ounce of its energy into the chase, only to watch its quarry slip away at the last moment. The chase is a game of fine margins. A single misstep, a stumble on loose earth, a momentary loss of traction, or a split-second hesitation can spell disaster. Sometimes the prey darts unexpectedly, zigzagging through the grass, and the cheetah's lightning-fast reflexes are just not enough. A gazelle might zigzag with just enough agility to evade the cheetah's final lunge, its hooves barely touching the ground as it twists away from danger. Or a young wildebeest, sensing the predator's approach, might summon a last desperate burst of speed, rejoining the safety of its herd in the nick of time. Each failed hunt is a significant blow. The cheetah collapses, sides heaving, its body racked with exhaustion. Muscles tremble from the effort, and its heart pounds furiously in its chest. The cost is immense, a massive expenditure of precious energy that yields no return. The cheetah's tongue lolls from its mouth, and its breath comes in ragged gasps. For a creature that lives so close to the energetic red line, these failures are not just disappointing, they are dangerous. Each unsuccessful chase brings the cheetah closer to the brink, its reserves dwindling with every sprint. When a hunt fails, the cheetah is left panting, its body temperature soaring and its muscles aching. The heat of the savannah presses down, compounding its fatigue. The recovery period is critical. The cheetah must find shade, its only refuge from the relentless sun, and wait for its heart rate to slow, for its body to cool. It lies motionless, every breath measured, every muscle slack. But even in this vulnerable state, the cheetah's mind is alert, haunted by the memory of the failed hunt and the gnawing hunger in its belly. During this time, it is incredibly vulnerable. The cheetah's senses remain sharp, scanning for threats, knowing that weakness can attract danger. Its presence has been revealed to every animal in the vicinity, including rival predators who may see an opportunity in its exhaustion. A lion, drawn by the commotion, or a pack of hyenas ever watchful for weakness, may approach, sensing an easy target. The cheetah, still drained from its effort, would have little strength to escape if danger arrives. Its body aches, but it must remain ready to flee at a moment's notice. Therefore, the aftermath of a failed chase is a period of high alert. The cheetah's mind is a storm of fatigue, frustration, and vigilance. It must recover its strength as quickly as possible, forcing its body to relax even as its instincts scream for caution. All the while it remains vigilant, blending into the tall grass, eyes flicking to every movement, every shadow. What the cheetah does next is a testament to its resilience. Despite the crushing fatigue and the sting of failure, it must rise again. It cannot afford to dwell on its failure. The hunger gnawing at its insides is relentless, a constant reminder that there is no time for self-pity. Hunger is a powerful and persistent motivator. The cheetah's body, thin and taut, demands nourishment, and the drive to survive overrides all else. After a period of rest and recovery, the cheetah must begin the process all over again. Muscles still sore, it stretches, preparing for another round in the endless cycle. It will rise, shake off its fatigue, and force its body back into motion, driven by necessity. Once more, it begins the patient search for an opportunity, every step measured, every sense attuned to the possibility of another hunt. It will climb another termite mound, its sharp eyes scanning the horizon, searching for movement, for a sign of weakness, for another chance. This cycle of hunt, fail, rest and hunt again is the fundamental rhythm of a cheetah's life. Each repetition leaves its mark, both physically and psychologically. It requires an extraordinary amount of persistence and an unyielding will to survive in the face of repeated setbacks. The cheetah's spirit is tested with every failure, but it endures. This pattern of failure and perseverance highlights the precarious nature of the cheetah's existence. Each failed hunt not only threatens its own survival, but also ripples through the ecosystem. Unlike lions, who can rely on the support of a pride, the cheetah faces these challenges alone. Nor does it have the cooperative strength of a wild dog pack. Its solitary nature means every failure is felt more deeply, every success more hard-won. Its successes are its own, but so too are its failures. The psychological toll is immense. Each defeat chips away at its confidence, yet the cheetah must press on. Each unsuccessful chase pushes it closer to starvation, its body growing leaner, its movements more desperate. The stakes rise with every failed attempt, making the next hunt even more critical. The cheetah's focus sharpens, its resolve hardens. It is a life of high stakes and constant pressure, where every decision, every movement can mean the difference between life and death, not just for the cheetah, but for the balance of the savannah itself. Survival depends on the ability to overcome disappointment, to summon the energy for one more explosive chase, and to adapt to the ever-changing challenges of the wild. The cheetah's story is not just one of speed, but also of incredible endurance, psychological fortitude, and the quiet determination to try again and again. Its struggles and triumphs echo through the ecosystem, shaping the lives of prey and predator alike, and maintaining the delicate balance of the savannah. The cheetah's world is a tapestry woven with the presence of Africa's most formidable giants. Each day the cheetah moves through a landscape dominated not only by its prey and rivals, but by the looming shadows of elephants, rhinos and buffalo, creatures whose size and strength shape every moment of life on the savannah. Among these titans, the rhinoceros stands as a living fortress. Its massive frame and armoured hide command respect, and the cheetah, ever alert, knows to keep its distance. A rhino, weighing over 2 tons and armed with a formidable horn, is a force of nature. The ground trembles as it moves, and even the bravest predators yield to its path. Though not a hunter, the rhino's unpredictable temperament means that all animals, cheetahs included, give it a wide berth. A single charge can scatter a herd or send a cheetah sprinting for safety. The cheetah, with its keen instincts, would never challenge a rhino. Instead, it watches from afar, reading the giant's mood before deciding where to step next. Navigating the savannah means weaving around these living mountains, adjusting routes and hunting grounds to avoid unwanted encounters. Even the mighty rhino is not immune to the pressures of this world. It must remain vigilant, always aware of the shifting alliances and rivalries among Africa's giants. At waterholes, tensions rise. Rhinos may clash with buffalo or even elephants, each defending their claim to precious resources. Sometimes fierce battles erupt, rhinos and hippos, both armoured and unyielding, testing each other's strength in displays of raw power. While a single predator would not dare attack a healthy adult rhino, a desperate pack of hyenas may attempt to harass it, seeking any sign of weakness. Occasionally, a pride of lions will surround a rhino, testing its defences. Yet more often than not, the rhino's sheer power prevails and the lions retreat. The scars on a rhino's hide tell stories of survival, remind us that in Africa strength comes in many forms. The lion, too, must navigate this world of giants. Its reign as king is challenged daily by the presence of other powerful animals. As apex predators, lions patrol their territories, ever watchful for intruders, be they rival lions, buffalo, or even the solitary cheetah. Lionesses, the pride's hunters, move with purpose. Their days are spent stalking prey, but also watching for the movements of larger animals that could disrupt a hunt. Sometimes they wait patiently at a warthog's burrow, or work together to isolate a zebra from its herd, always aware of the shifting dynamics around them. But even for the king, success is never certain. A failed hunt means hunger and the need to try again. A powerful zebra's kick can end a hunt in an instant, sending even the boldest lioness limping away. These moments reveal the risks and failures faced by all predators, and the relentless challenge of survival. For the cheetah, life is a delicate dance among these giants. It must remain vigilant, always aware of the movements of lions, rhinos and buffalo. The cheetah is a mid-tier predator, dwarfed by the bulk of elephants and buffalo and outmuscled by lions and hyenas. Each day it weaves through herds of buffalo and elephants, using stealth and speed to avoid conflict and find opportunity. The cheetah must avoid the unpredictable paths of rhinos, steer clear of lion prides, and remain alert for the ever-watchful hyena. Its existence is a masterclass in situational awareness. Every sound, every movement in the grass could signal danger or opportunity. The cheetah must be acutely conscious of not just what it is hunting, but of everything else that is happening around it: buffalo stampedes, elephant herds, and the silent approach of other predators. In this grand ecosystem, the cheetah's survival is a testament not to brute strength, but to adaptability, intelligence, and the ability to carve out a niche among Africa's most powerful animals. Each day is a story of resilience, as the cheetah lives and thrives in the shadow of the continent's true titans. In the final account, the cheetah's story is a powerful narrative of specialization and resilience, a tale written not in words but in the wind and dust of the savannah. Over countless generations, the cheetah has been sculpted by the relentless hand of evolution, each adaptation a testament to the fierce demands of survival. Its body is a masterpiece of natural engineering, designed for one extraordinary purpose: to be the fastest hunter on land. This singular focus has granted the cheetah a breathtaking advantage, allowing it to pursue and capture prey with the speed that no other carnivore can rival. In the open grasslands, every muscle, every sinew, every heartbeat is dedicated to the chase. Its slender frame, flexible spine and powerful legs are the tools of a master sprinter, transforming the vast plains into its personal racetrack. The cheetah's tail acts as a rudder, guiding it through impossibly sharp turns, while its claws grip the earth like cleats. But speed is not just a weapon for the hunt, it is a shield, a means of escape, a way to outmaneuver danger. The cheetah's agility allows it to create daring diversions against more powerful foes, to slip from the jaws of death when surrounded by predators. Speed is the very essence of the cheetah, woven into its spirit and every fibre of its being. Yet this incredible gift comes at a great cost. The cheetah's life is a delicate balance, a constant negotiation between risk and reward. Its lightweight build, so crucial for acceleration, leaves it vulnerable in a world where brute strength often rules. Among the giants of the savannah, the cheetah stands alone, relying on wit and speed rather than force. It cannot defend its hard-won meals against the overwhelming power of lions or the relentless tactics of hyenas. Each hunt is a gamble, and every victory is shadowed by the threat of loss. The cheetah cannot risk injury by tackling heavily armed prey. A single misstep, a single wound, could mean the end of its race. Its existence is a constant balancing act, expending enormous energy in the pursuit of prey, then conserving every ounce of strength to survive the long, uncertain hours between hunts. The cheetah lives on a knife's edge, where every decision carries weight and every calorie is precious. Hunger and hope are daily companions. Its existence is fragile, a testament to the truth that even the most remarkable adaptations come with their own burdens. The cheetah's journey is one of constant challenge, but also of unwavering resolve. What is perhaps most inspiring about the cheetah is not just its physical prowess, but its indomitable spirit. Each dawn brings new trials, yet the cheetah rises, eyes fixed on the horizon, heart set on survival. Witness the courage of a mother, standing between her cubs and danger, risking everything for the fragile promise of the next generation. Her bravery echoes across the plains, a silent vow to endure. See the persistence in the face of failure, a cheetah, exhausted after a failed hunt, gathering her strength, rising once more to chase hope across the grasslands. Marvel at its intelligence, the careful selection of prey, the silent, patient stalk through tall grass, every movement calculated, every sense alert. The cheetah is more than a running machine. It is a teacher, a guardian, a survivor. Its legacy is passed from mother to cub, each lesson a thread in the tapestry of survival. The cheetah embodies a unique form of courage, not the courage of overwhelming power, but the courage to live by its own rules, to carve out a place in a world of giants, to persist against the odds. As the sun sets over the African plains, the sky ablaze with colour, the cheetah's silhouette stands as a living symbol of grace, speed and tenacity. In the fading light, a lone cheetah surveys the vastness, a sentinel of the wild, its spirit unbroken by hardship or loss. Its journey is a poignant reminder of the beautiful and brutal realities of the natural world, a world where every life is a story of struggle and triumph. The cheetah shows us that survival is not always about being the biggest or the strongest. Sometimes it is about being the swiftest, the most adaptable, the most determined. It is about the will to rise after every fall, to run with heart and hope, to never surrender to the weight of adversity. The cheetah's epic story is etched into the very fabric of the savannah, a golden streak of life, a legacy of resilience, a spirit that continues to race the wind and claim its place in this magnificent, untamed kingdom. Beneath the dappled shadows of a lone acacia, a new chapter begins in the life of the savannah. Here, hidden deep within a nest of tall, whispering grass, a cheetah mother welcomes her litter into the world. The air is still, save for the soft mewling of tiny cubs, their eyes sealed shut against the dazzling sun. Fragile and helpless, each cub is no larger than a squirrel, their bodies cloaked in a mantle of silvery grey fur, a natural camouflage against the ever-watchful eyes of predators. From the very first breath, survival is a lesson written in urgency. The mother's vigilance is absolute. She rarely strays far, slipping away only to hunt, her absence brief, her return swift. Each time she brings back nourishment, her movements careful to avoid drawing attention. She bathes her cubs with gentle licks, her touch both shield and reassurance, her body a barrier against the chill of the night and the dangers that prowl beyond their sanctuary. Days pass, and the cubs open their eyes to a world of golden light and endless sky. Their first steps are wobbly, uncertain, a tentative dance on unsteady legs. But curiosity burns bright. Siblings tumble and wrestle in the safety of their den, their playful sparring a rehearsal for the challenges to come. Each game is more than play. It is practice for the hunt, a test of speed, balance, and cunning. Rivalries flare and fade as they chase shadows, pounce on flickering insects, and vie for their mother's attention. Yet the world outside is unforgiving. Hunger is a constant companion. The mother's hunts grow longer, her returns more anxious as she balances the demands of feeding her growing brood with the ever-present threat of discovery. Jackals, hyenas, and even lions roam close by, drawn by the faintest scent or sound. At the slightest hint of danger, the mother leads her cubs to new hiding places, carrying them one by one, her jaws gentle but determined. Each move is a gamble, a race against time and fate. As weeks turn to months, the cubs shed their mantle of baby fur, their spots darkening, their limbs lengthening. Under their mother's watchful gaze, they begin to shadow her through the grasslands, their eyes wide with wonder and caution. She teaches by example how to crouch low, how to read the wind, how to wait in silence for the perfect moment. Their first attempts at hunting are clumsy, ending in failure more often than not, but each mistake is a lesson, each near miss a step closer to mastery. Sibling bonds are tested as competition for food intensifies. The strongest grow bolder, the weaker lag behind. But even in rivalry, there is unity, a shared instinct to huddle together at night, to call out when separated, to race and play in the golden light of dusk. Through hardship and hunger, through the losses and the victories, the cubs learn what it means to be cheetah. By adolescence, only the most resilient remain. The mother's final gift is the hardest of all: independence. One by one, the young cheetahs step into the vastness, their hearts pounding with fear and anticipation. The lessons of childhood echo in every stride, every leap. They are no longer the vulnerable cubs of the den. They are the heirs to a legacy of speed, stealth, and survival, a new generation born to race the wind. In the end, the journey from helplessness to hunter is a crucible of courage, learning, and loss. Through the eyes of a cheetah cub, the savannah is not just a place of danger, but a world of endless possibility, where every sunrise is a chance to run, to learn, to live. And so, the cycle begins anew, each cheetah's life a testament to the enduring power of maternal devotion, sibling rivalry, and the relentless will to survive. Beneath the endless sky, the cheetah's world is painted in shades of survival. Every stalk, every chase is guided by a remarkable suite of senses, nature's own masterpieces, honed by evolution for the art of the hunt. First, there is vision. As dawn spills gold across the grasslands, the cheetah's amber eyes scan the horizon. Unlike many of its rivals, the cheetah sees in high definition. A special line of cells at the back of the eye, called the visual streak, grants panoramic clarity, perfect for spotting the faintest flicker of movement in the distance. While colour is muted, every shadow, every ripple of muscle under fur is sharply in focus. When the hunt is on, the world narrows to a tunnel, prey locked in the centre, the rest fading away. Yet sight is only the beginning. The cheetah's ears, small and rounded, pivot with uncanny precision. They catch the softest rustle of grass, the distant thrum of hooves, the warning bark of a gazelle. Each sound is filtered, analysed, and mapped onto the savannah's invisible web of life. In a world where silence can mean survival, the cheetah's hearing is a guardian, alerting it to both opportunity and threat. And then there is the art of disappearance. The cheetah's coat, a mosaic of black spots against tawny gold, is more than beautiful. It is armour. In the dappled light beneath thorn trees or the shifting patterns of tall grass, the cheetah melts into the landscape. This camouflage hides not only from prey, but from the ever-watchful eyes of lions and hyenas. Even the cubs, cloaked in silvery grey, vanish like shadows in the undergrowth. Every adaptation is a gift and a gamble. The cheetah's slender frame sacrifices strength for speed, its claws semi-retractable for better grip, its nostrils wide for rapid breaths. But without its senses, its ability to see, to hear, to vanish, it would be just another shadow on the plain. Together these secret weapons transform the cheetah from fragile cub to formidable hunter. With each hunt the lessons of sight, sound and silence are put to the test. And as the sun sets over the savannah, the cheetah's senses remain ever vigilant, ready for the next chase, the next chance to survive. Under the shade of an acacia tree, the cheetah finally claims its prize, a young gazelle, brought down after a breathless chase. But victory on the savannah is fleeting. In the wild, the struggle does not end with the catch. It begins anew at the table of life. The cheetah eats with urgency, its slender frame trembling with the effort to gulp down precious meat before the inevitable arrival of uninvited guests. Unlike the lion or the leopard, the cheetah cannot defend its meal with brute force. Its jaws, built for speed, lack the crushing power to break large bones. Instead, it feasts on the softest parts, muscle, organs, starting with the hindquarters and heart, fueling its own heart for the next race. Each meal is a race against time. The cheetah's keen ears remain alert, twitching at the faintest sound. In the distance, a chorus of cackles rises, hyenas drawn by the scent of blood. Their heavy steps thunder closer, and the cheetah's posture shifts from hunger to caution. With numbers on their side and jaws that can crack bone, the hyenas do not ask, they take. Above, the sky darkens with circling vultures. Silent, relentless, they spiral lower, their sharp eyes following every movement on the ground. They wait, patient and persistent, for the moment when the cheetah is forced to abandon its meal. Sometimes a cheetah will drag its kill into the cover of tall grass, desperate to hide the evidence. But even then, the scavengers are relentless. If discovered, the cheetah must make a choice, stand and risk injury, or surrender the feast and live to hunt another day. More often than not, survival wins over pride. The cheetah slinks away, its belly half full, its spirit undiminished. Yet even in this constant contest, the cheetah plays its vital role. What is left behind becomes a banquet for others, the hyenas, the jackals, the vultures, all part of the great cycle. In the end, nothing is wasted. On these plains, every meal is shared, willingly or not, in the unending dance of life and death. For the cheetah, each hunt is more than a test of speed. It is a battle against hunger, against rivals, against time itself. And with each day the cheetah endures, swift, watchful, and ever resourceful, carving out its place at nature's table. In the heart of Africa's wild tapestry, the cheetah is more than a solitary hunter. It's a silent architect of the savanna's delicate balance. Each chase, each kill, reverberates far beyond a single meal. With every sprint after gazelle or impala, the cheetah shapes the behavior of its prey, urging herds to stay alert, to move, to adapt. This constant dance between predator and prey keeps populations healthy, weeding out the weak and the sick, and ensuring only the swiftest and sharpest survive. But the cheetah's influence reaches even further. By targeting smaller or younger animals, those most likely to fall behind, the cheetah prevents overgrazing, allowing grasses to regenerate and providing shelter for countless other creatures. Its selective hunting style means the strongest of the herd thrive, strengthening the future of the species. Yet the cheetah does not rule alone. Its presence subtly shapes the lives of other predators. Lions and leopards, more powerful but less swift, are compelled to adjust their own strategies, often avoiding direct competition. Wild dogs, with their relentless stamina, carve out their own niche, while hyenas and jackals wait in the wings, ready to scavenge what remains. Each species, from the fiercest carnivore to the tiniest insect, plays a part in this living web, connected by invisible threads of survival and necessity. Through its unique role, the cheetah helps maintain equilibrium among the savanna's inhabitants. Its speed is not just a marvel of nature, but a force that ripples across the land, quietly guiding the cycles of life, death, and renewal. In the relentless race for existence, the cheetah stands as a guardian of balance, its every movement a silent promise that the wild will endure. Across the sun-drenched plains, the cheetah's world is shifting. The grass, once tall and lush, now whispers secrets of hardship. Seasons grow unpredictable. Rain, once a faithful visitor, sometimes lingers far too long in the clouds. Drought creeps over the land, turning waterholes into cracked mosaics and forcing herds to search farther for a drink. For the cheetah, each day brings a new test. Thirst tightens its grip, and prey grows scarce as antelope travel ever greater distances in search of green. Then, as if in answer to the parched silence, fire sweeps across the savannah. Flames dance in wild, hungry lines, chasing away the cover that once offered safety. The cheetah, with its cubs huddled low, waits for the smoke to clear, heart pounding as the world is painted in ash and shadow. When the fire passes, the landscape is changed, a blackened patchwork where once there was golden grass. Hunts become harder, for the prey are wary and exposed, and the cheetah's own camouflage is betrayed by the starkness of the land. Even in seasons of plenty, the boundaries of the cheetah's home shift and shrink. Forest thickets, once a refuge, recede under the relentless sun. Rocky outcrops become crowded with new neighbours, lions, leopards, wild dogs, each drawn by the promise of survival. The cheetah must thread a path through shifting territories, avoiding those who would steal its meal or threaten its young. Every step demands caution, every hunt calculation. Yet, within these trials, the cheetah endures. It adapts, learning the rhythms of the altered land, teaching its cubs to read the wind and the earth. The cheetah's gaze remains fixed on the horizon, ever watchful, ever hopeful. For in the heart of the savannah, resilience is as vital as speed. Against the backdrop of a world in flux, the cheetah's spirit remains unbroken, a living testament to the power of persistence and the will to survive.